This lesson is trig ratios part 3. Just going to scroll down to where the last video cut off. It was right down here on these last problems. Okay, right here, example 6. So what we want to do is write an equation that will allow us to find x and y. And in example 6, we have a 90-degree angle, a 54-degree angle, so we could find this angle. This would be 36, okay? And then we have a choice to choose between 54 or 36. So you could just use 54 anyway. So what's different about this problem than the others is that x is on the hypotenuse, okay? And so we have, let me go ahead and write over here, we have sine, let me give myself a little more room. Sine of an angle, sine of theta, is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. Okay, so if I'm looking at 54, well, x is the hypotenuse always, and then 8 is the adjacent angle if I'm looking at angle 54. So adjacent and hypotenuse is cosine. So I'm going to write my equation. The cosine of 54 degrees equals adjacent 8 over hypotenuse x. So there's my equation. And then to solve this equation, well, if we write this as a proportion, I'm sorry, I'm missing my stand. If I write this as a proportion and cross multiply, I get 8 is equal to x times the cosine of 54. Remember that cosine of 54 is just a number. We can look it up in the table. You could go ahead and replace it right there, but I find it easier just to, that's a number, and so if we divide by that same number, this becomes 1, so I can cross it out. So x is equal to 8 divided by the cosine of 54. So anytime that your x is going to be, or your variables in the denominator, you're going to end up taking whatever is in the numerator and dividing by the trig function. So this is 8 divided by the cosine of 54. And if you have a calculator, you can literally just enter that in your calculator. You just say 8 divided by cosine 54, and you get 13.6. Okay. You can look up, if you don't have the calculator for that, you just go down to the table here. The cosine of 54 is 0.5878. So we would just go back here, and 8 divided by 0.5878, and if I put that in my calculator, 8 divided by 0.5878, I get 13.61 as well. Okay, so you can use the calculator if you have it. If not, just use the table. Okay, so now let me erase this, and to find y, well, if we're looking at 54, y is opposite, and 8 is adjacent, so that's tangent. So the tangent of 54 is equal to the opposite side y over the adjacent side 8. Now y is in the numerator. So here when we cross multiply, we get y is equal to 8 times the tangent of 54. And again, you can just enter that into your calculator directly, and I get 11.01. So y is 11.01. So please pause and try and do the quick check yourself, and then come back and look at the solutions. Okay, hopefully you paused. So now again, y this time is the hypotenuse. If I'm looking at 25, x is the adjacent side. So I could say the tangent of 25 is equal to 10 over x. If you like to just not deal with the denominator, we could then, in this one, it would make sense to find this angle, 55 no, 65. Yeah. So 65. So I could use this angle here, and then I could say the tangent of 65 is equal to x over 10. You just could have said the tangent of 25 is equal to 10 over x, and you'll get the same answer either way. In this one here, though, when we cross multiply, we just have to multiply 10 times the tangent of 65. And in this one here, when we cross multiplied, we would have gotten 10 is equal to x times the tangent of 25, and then we would have to divide. So if you have your calculator, go ahead and enter both of those into your calculator. Enter 10 times the tangent of 65 and enter 10 divided by the tangent of 25, and you'll see you get the same answer. So 10, 65 is 21.45. So this is x is 21.45. And if I enter 10 divided by tangent of 25, I get the exact same answer. I always like to do both just to check and make sure I haven't made a mistake. Now to find y, let's see, we'll go ahead and just use this 25. And so then 10 is opposite, and so that's going to be sine. The sine of 25 equals opposite over hypotenuse. This time you don't have a choice. Y has to be in the denominator. So 10 is equal to y times the sine of 25, and divide both sides by the sine of 25, and you get y is equal to 10 divided by the sine of 25. And it is 23.66. Okay, hopefully that has become more clear, and good luck with the rest of the problems.